Why do you guys have a G spot in your butthole?
Do you want me to
listen, Willie, hold on, Willie. Like you would have to, you probably have to ask God about that, but we wouldn't be able to tell you.
I thought you guys talk about it all the time. Why don't you ask?
I think she's
nobody. No, wait, hold on. Nobody here even said that, but we wouldn't be able to tell you. However, I still want to understand how we got to the point of there is no passage that says it's not right for a man to lay with a man.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
Leviticus 18:22, Leviticus 20:13.
Please read it out.
I don't need to read it out. One says you should not lay with the woman as you do as a man without being an abomination. It's implied to be bad, unless the Bible says, hey, being an abomination is good.
Wait, did you say it is implied to be man, or does it say that?
Jesus Christ.
You shall not lie with a man as you do with a woman. It's an abomination.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't be, because you wouldn't be expected to enter into a woman's butt.
Do you want me to give you the actual answers to that question? Because you can refute these with just the logical fallacies alone.
Okay, go ahead.
That wouldn't be laying with, we're being literal here. That wouldn't be laying with women the same, right? Because you would be laying with the man by entering into his butt, not in a woman's vagina. So you wouldn't.
Okay.
It's just, bro, all she's doing is doing an appeal to nature. If it exists, then it must be okay. Nature says what is. It doesn't say what's moral. That's what. That's.
And why do you naturally have a G spot?
This is one of those Christian feminist talking points that doesn't hold up to a logical examination.
I'm just asking, if y'all don't know the answer, you just say you don't know. But
wait, hold on, man.
He's making a presumption that
condone gay sex would give you a G spot in your butthole. That's all.
Jazz, you're making a presumption that God intended for you, for just because you have this thing that humans call a G spot inside of your butt, right? Because we've chosen to call it a G spot, and we've chosen to give it a purpose. Mm-hmm. You're making a presumption that the purpose of that is to be stimulated through sex.
Okay, so tell me what the other purpose is.
I don't have to know the purpose, but you're assuming the purpose.
The purpose in your body.
Hold on, because I can take the position and say I'm not arrogant. I have no idea. However, you're taking the position of the purpose is for sex. So you're saying that you know, and I'm saying I don't know.
When the conclusion does not follow the premises, it's illogical. The premise is, why is your G spot in your butt? The conclusion, that's the premise. The conclusion is God approves of homosexuality. It's not bad. That shit doesn't just like, you should even have the back and forth. G, you should have just said that. I know you know that.
Point that it cancels out that reproduction is only for the purposes of SMEX is only for the purpose of reproduction.
Nobody made that argument, and that point wasn't even said until just now.
That proves otherwise. That
and at the end of the day, the basis of your conversation is false, because we just disproved it with what's in the Bible. You said that there's no passage.
We've had this conversation with every black Christian.
One mic so they can hear us. One mic so they can hear us.
Like every time a black Christian female feminist comes up here, they have these same types of things.
Who said I was a feminist?
Your talking points represent you as one.
But
anytime that we have these conversations, this is the type of logic they try to use. And then when you actually know the logical fallacies being what they are, and it's not hard to it's never hard to dismount their arguments. It's just based on what they feel and what they think, because they like to be contrarian.
Okay, it has nothing to do with being contrarian. It's about using common
sense
and knowing your own biology.
So I don't know. Let her finish.
The process of getting pregnant, again, my argument is about people's narrative that it's not okay to be gay because it's man and man does not procreate child. That doesn't prove that it's wrong. And saying that you read it in the Bible, that still doesn't prove that it's wrong, because it was written by men who have opinions, men who are flawed, men who do shit out of spite and make up their own shit all the time. Yet none of you can tell me why you have a G spot if God meant for you to not have gay sex.
The G spot now cancels out.
So let me say this. I seen between the lines, but Mott kept falling for it. The reason why she was asking those gay questions, because she's part of it.
Gay questions.
She's part of it, and you didn't. And Mott, you didn't want to stand on shit. You didn't want to just sit there and say you don't agree with homosexuals. You say I don't have a problem with them. No, you do have a problem with them. That's why you was riding the fence. I can more accept a gay woman than a gay man. You riding the goddamn fence. Stand on one side or the other. I don't like gay motherfuckers. I don't want them in my church. I don't want them teaching my goddamn kids. I'm gonna straight up tell you, I don't want you nowhere around. Nowhere around. And if that's Reason why you take that stance because you know the good Lord is against that bullshit, then that's on you. I have issues with church, but not because of homosexualism. I promise you that. I have deeper rooted than that, but I see why you against it. I understand. Go ahead, man.
Can I just say something real quick? Like, Hank, I'm just saying what I believe. Like, you against gay people for whatever reason you against it. I'm not against gay. I think boy gay is worse than girl
you're
gay.
riding the fence. I know.
No,
you're doing the same thing that we did on last Tuesday. You're acting just like Darwin. You're not going to take a stance on shit.
Like
we got to stop being weak men. We have to stop being weak men. You can't do that.
Hold on,
Hey,
y'all.
listen, to Hink's point, G, when you let these types of people do that to you, you give them the space to make it sound intelligent and to make what they're saying sound like it's coherent thought and it's logically that it makes sense logically. That's why Hink is saying take a stand.
I don't believe in
because if you took a stance, then you would
Hold
have
on,
said.
one mic.
If you would have taken a stance, then you would have said everything that I said to you because I know you know those things.
No. But this is the thing. I'm not taking a stance because I don't have a hard stance. I'm not going to take a stance because Hank told me to take a stance.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
No. I'm going to give people what's in my brain. I'm going to let you know what's in my brain right now. And if it's not a hard stance, that's perfectly fine. I don't care if Hank feels like, oh, you're letting her off the hook. I'm not here for that. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Mont, this is the stance that we're saying you should have took. The goalpost she moved, she went from the goal line to the 50-yard line. Her first premise was, hey, tell us where in the Bible it says that it's bad to be gay. And then once we dismantled that bullshit, it was, well, who said in the Bible that sex is only meant to be between men and women because they can procreate?
Did you notice how I asked you guys who claim to be Christians if
we noticed that you had
the
a one-sided
Bible is
conversation
the
with
word
no
of
one
man or the word of God?
Jazz, the reason why we were quiet with you is because we recognized the play that you were running.
No, you didn't.
And it was very
you couldn't even answer my
elementary.
question. So no,
It was elementary, so we just kind of didn't want to entertain
You
it.
still haven't even answered my question.
We're not going to answer the question because it's stupid. It's illogical.
What's stupid is that you have a G spot and you don't know why you have it. That's what's
you don't. But you don't either. So
no, that's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you. It's your body.
You're not a man.
You're
not a man.
I don't need to be a man. I'm so grateful that I'm not. By the way.
Okay.
She doesn't even like men.
It has nothing to do with that. And you didn't dismantle anything. I explained to you why that is. And hanging on the words of other men who were probably dehydrated in the fucking desert 2,000 years ago does not.
It's another stretch.
And she had a Christian youth group.
You're at this point you're an animation expert. You're just making things up in your mind.
What am I making up? What did I make up? Did I make up the fact that you have a G spot in your ass?
Why is it always the Jazzes that do this?
There's no proof that it's not okay to be gay.
You just sit up there and literally.
All right, so hold on, y'all. Because I think Naomi want to get in there real quick, and then I'll come back to mine so mine can finish up. Go ahead, Naomi.
So I am just wondering, why are we harping on the men's G spot when only women get upset when men don't hit theirs? Like a lot of women don't know where theirs is either.
Nobody's upset about that.
Hey, don't you start coming over here making sense, Naomi.
I think the point is heavily missed.
So hold on. Hold on.
I was
let me finish. Let me finish talking. So
the question, I'm answering it.
I know, but I was still talking. So here's the thing. It's disheartening to me. So I'm sitting here trying to make sense of what you're saying and how you're harping down on men and the use of it. And to be completely honest, you don't even have to use a woman's G spot to make a child.
That's correct.
But women get upset all the time because men don't like hit that G spot either. But it's more of a woman upset rather than a man being upset. So I don't really think the stimulation of the G spot is necessary or even relevant, to be completely honest. This is just really for most women. So hold on, let me finish. So most women who complain about something like that is because they experience something and then they want it to be repeated. But it's really women only who are complaining about a G spot. Men don't complain about their G spot being stimulated. And I think if we go back to what Mont was saying earlier, he said, well, what did you say, Mont? You said, do you think that it was meant to be stimulated just because it's present?
Yeah, just because we have it, do you think that it's designed to be stimulated or it must be stimulated?
See, that's the thing. A lot of women's G-spot is not stimulated, but they're the ones that are complaining. So that to me is kind of irrelevant. But okay, now you can go.
What's your question?
Why is the relevance of why are you making it a point to discuss a man's G-spot that isn't stimulated when women's G-spots aren't stimulated either, but women complain about it?
Okay. Well, first of all, I can't relate to the G-spot not being reached thing. Sorry. Second, I was pointing out the contradiction that God created man in his image, which was perfection in his eyes. Then why would he give you a body part that you don't need? Why would he give you that? If it's so wrong to be GAY, why would he make sure that there's a pleasure point in your ass?
Well, that
That's
pleasure
not
point.
hold on. I'm not finished. It's not for the purpose of reproducing children. Just like you mentioned, the clitoris is also not meant. It's not needed to produce children. Correct?
Why do you have
It's
it?
the same thing for the G-spot. Hence, the pleasure spot outside of a woman can be reached by who? A woman as well as a man. Again, proving you're having an extra body part that's not necessary for reproduction that can also be used to please by another woman. So I'm asking you guys as believers, if God made you in his image, what would be the point of having those body parts and those extra extremities if it's not made for the purpose of reproduction with the opposite sex?